The rebels are alerted to our presence. Admiral Ozzel came out of light speed too close to the system.
He felt surprised, was wiser.
He is as clumsy as he is stupid.
Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we'll be working on the second part of this project, of this Star Wars project, and this is the Stormtrooper. So first we did Darth Vader and now we're working on the Stormtrooper. And the sad thing is that it was I don't want to say it was pointless, but it was because after I'd done this project, I was looking for clips on YouTube of where like a Stormtrooper talks to Darth Vader so that I could use both of them in an animation project. But I couldn't find a scene of Darth Vader talking to a Stormtrooper. And then, you know, basically I worked on these details pretty much for nothing. But yeah, as you've seen, I've already jumped into this project. So here I was working on his body, and then this was another, you know, this is the second character after Darth Vader that it was a bit too complicated. There were just too many unnecessary details that I went into. You know, where all the previous videos I've been preaching about, we're just looking for the essence of the character, you know, just the basics. And these two characters, Darth Vader and the Stormtrooper, were just too complicated. And this one also took 2 hours to complete. And yeah, 2 hours and some few minutes. And you know, I was really disappointed that I couldn't use him effectively for what I wanted to accomplish. But yeah, this was a tough project overall. So if you haven't seen the Darth Vader one, please check it out. And then the next video after this one will be compositing this 2D animation scene together. So here again, I was working on the Stormtrooper, just adding details to his arm. You know, just these little unnecessary details. You can see the reflection. And you know, with this one, I think the difference was that I didn't give up. So with this one, I just committed till the end. I was like, you know what, I've started, I've gone through it, we might as well finish it. So I went through it, even with all these unnecessary details. Yeah, I don't think there'll be any project harder than this one, you know, if I'm thinking about it, because this one is just, unless I do like Transformers or something, that would be probably more difficult than this one. But this one was, yeah, the hardest project that I've done so far, and even putting it together was very complicated. So here I'm just working on his arm, and as you can tell from this, I'm very salty about how much time I think I wasted on this. No, not in a bad way, in just like I could have used my time more effectively and also chosen carefully what I would have wanted to add into the details, especially for a character that ended up not being used at all. So I do have a bit of regret towards that, but overall, again, I'm happy with how this project turned out in the end. So here I'm just working on his arm, well, not his arm, his fingers. That will come to yeah, and then just working on the belt, and I think just if you guys are watching this, you'll just see how a lot of things aren't required here. So here I was adding more details, and I think I'll just have to recycle these characters in another project where they can be used more effectively, especially for the amount of work that went into them. But I suppose this is one of those things of animations where you do sometimes create something that you realize you didn't need to. But that's the last time I talk about how unnecessary stuff was. I'll try not to make it about that, because I feel like I'm talking way too much about that. Alright, so now here I'm just working on his belt, adding lines, you know, so that it appears a bit more three-dimensional. And then you can see it's starting to come together, just adding more details on his belt. And then you can see also adding that little thing. And then I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on, you know, if you're an animator or a person that does projects, you know, does that ever happen to you where, you know, whether you're working for a client or something, where you do a project and you're not too pleased with it, and then it turns out to be the best thing that you've ever it turns out to be the best work you've ever done. Have you ever worked on a project you didn't enjoy and you were doing it for the sake of the client just needs to have something to look at, and then they were so impressed with it and you were like, wait, what? I'd love to know if you've ever gone through anything like that. And it doesn't have to be in animation, it can be in any project that you do or any type of field of work that you're in. So here I'm working on his other arm and we're just putting this stuff together, and you can see the lines. And I think this is another reason I enjoy with Animate Studio. It's very, very effective, and just in terms of getting, you know, the type of lines that you're looking for. So you can see he's finally coming together, and here I'm just adding these little openings in his you know, on the part of his arm for his armor, and then adding more stuff. Yeah, just creating, adding the lines, and then here you can see he's almost there. We're getting there. So I was pleased with how it was coming out. So here the only thing that I was worried about was how I was gonna create his gun. So before I got to the gun, I'm creating his helmet, and again I think I had learned quite a lot from the Darth Vader video that I'd done, that I didn't focus, even though I did do some details, I tried not to overdo it. Yeah, if that's the word, overdo it. But you can see I'm just adding just the stuff that I think that makes a difference, is the stuff that I started adding. So not getting too, excuse me, so not getting too worried about the other little things. So here I think I focused more on the reflections, and then now I'm just creating the opening by the mouth. Then you can see there, adding the I don't know what you call that, but here I started getting a bit more confident because I could see the what you call the shape of the Stormtrooper coming to life. So I was really excited. And some of these drawings, even though I do recognize it, I still don't know why I don't color in the details, but I always leave it to last. But yeah, and if you ever noticed, so I've started trying a new format where in the videos I'm adding background music, and I think at first I didn't want to do it just in case for copyright claims, but found out about the YouTube free music, and then so I've been using that in the same video. And to make it simple, I think I'm just using the same song over and over again in a loop, and then that's what I'm playing over these videos. So here you can see he's coming to life, and I'm just gonna create his legs, and then we should be coming to a close. If you enjoy what you're watching, please consider subscribing. And again, I'm back in the habit of forgetting to say this, so yeah, please consider subscribing and leaving a like or a comment, you know, anything. And yeah, and I think right now, because I'm still at 4 subscribers, like even if you I'm more likely to do a request if someone had to put it, but hopefully that would be nice. So here I'm just putting that kneecap, you know, more reflections, and I don't know why I put in that detail, but I did. Even and again, I guess the most disappointing thing is that in the final animation it's really hard to notice any of these details because you just see the Stormtrooper overall and none of these little lines, I suppose. And I think that's the most disappointing part, but I think I'll just have to get over it. So here, just creating his other leg, see, just giving them heels, and you can make it rough. So I always make my lines rough and then I always just come back to polish them. So here you can see that's what I was doing there. See, things are starting to come together, and I just need to, I'm just gonna pause to see something. Okay, so the quick pause was just for me to see if my microphone was still recording, because I did experience with the previous project where I had recorded a lot of things and then oops, turns out it didn't even record at all. So that was a bit disappointing. So here I'm just playing around with the gun. So I did find a way to create the gun, and it was just to trace around his arms so that it would look alright. And then here you can see, just adding it. So finally I think the Stormtrooper is coming. You can finally see his shape and you can see him take form, and you can see, I think he's done. So now it's just coloring in. The weird thing about coloring in this character is that he looked gray, but then in the final animation he looks white. So I was like, wait. So it's always interesting to see that an image on its own, especially like this, it looks really gray, and then when you put it in a scene, as you will see, it actually has color. It looks the way it should look like. So here the best part of this Stormtrooper is that he just had 3 colors: a light, and a base color, and then a dark. Yeah, so it's base, dark, and light, which was just a white that I played around with, and those were the majority of the colors. You can see here at least his helmet wasn't too difficult. It was just his body and the belt that was very time consuming. So you can see he's looking really gray here, but you'll be surprised to see how, well, I'm sure as you've seen in the opening scene, that he doesn't even look gray at all, just because of the scene that he's in. Oh, that he's in a composition. So here I was just coloring in, and I did think about changing the colors. I was like, wait, this doesn't look right, but I was like, you know what, just finish it and then save. We can always change it later on, because then he started looking like a custom Stormtrooper than an actual Stormtrooper. So here they're just adding buttons, coloring them in, and that was just the most tedious part. And yeah, unless I do a Transformers sort of like time-lapse animation, I don't think I'll do anything as this complicated. And then yeah, this one, and again I was defeated, but I stuck through this one. I was like, just finish it. So with this one, unlike the Darth Vader one, I didn't stop to take a break. I just went on full 2 hours non-stop. But it wasn't done on the same day. It was I don't remember how many days apart they were between this character and the Darth Vader one, but I think it was maybe about 3 days or more. I could be mistaken. So here, just finishing it up, just adding his arms and adding that, making it light. You can see it's starting to come to shape, creating more darknesses. Is that a word, darknesses? I don't think that's a word. Just making some parts darker and some parts lighter. And then here you can see adding the lines, and then here again. So here I was so excited because I could finally see the picture, and you can see. So right now we're coming pretty much to a close. And then there you can see it's just a little things on his crutch, and then the legs rather. A few more details, and then boom, it's done, which was exciting. So now it's just adding that flare, making some lines thicker than others, and just so, because that's more of my art style. I like making different thicknesses on the character. So you can see here I'm just adding some thicknesses, and it's looking alright. You can see it's coming together. And now we're just gonna separate him so that we can create the bone structure that was unfortunately not used to its full capacity. So here, just creating that on his legs, and then we're just gonna put it together, assemble it rather. You can see, assemble the arms, the guns, the hand, the head, the helmet, everything. And you can see now he's moving, and yeah, I'm happy with the result. And now we're just gonna create a test render, and then this should bring the second character to a close, and then we should go to the third part in which we're creating the we're putting the scene together, or creating, yeah, we're creating the scene together. So here I'm just testing around, and I did end up using this background as well. So here you can see, just putting that together. And thank you so much for watching.